Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people? It's Shutdoor or Door Shutter coming back to you with a brand new episode of Project Architect 2, and we are going to get into a handful of things. So first things first, I want to make some andesite alloy, which I believe is actually what this is called. We're going to just make a stack, and then we're going to make another stack. Very simple. And then I've got some stripped logs out here. We're going to right-click on this with the andesite alloy. That is going to give us some stripped casings. Beautiful. Let's then pick this stuff up. This is just a crafting recipe for create, because that's what we're going to get into, right? So the next thing, I want to create some shafts. I think I'll do 8 sets of these. Okay. And then I actually need to make some sticks. All right. And so what I want to go ahead and do is I want to get this, which is a windmill. So I want to get what is called a windmill bearing. Now this will actually allow for us to produce rotational force, the basic power system of Create, and allow for us to kind of get some of this stuff going. So I'm going to grab 16 windmill sails and put that in there. And then let's also just quickly snag up a block. Do I have... Yes, one wooden plank. Okay, so this is one power source that we're going to use for the mechanical mixer. And I think that we need heat, right? So we do need a blaze burner. So this does kind of throw a wrench into some plans. A mechanical press, huh? Well, we actually have everything for that. So let's just snag out some iron. Actually, I already have some on me, which is beautiful. Okay, and then we'll just start with this way. If we have to do it this way, we'll have to do it this way. That's perfectly fine by me. Okay, mechanical press. And we probably need a depot to do this. Okay, let's just grab a depot. I don't think it says we need it, but I always like to use it on this. So a depot. Beautiful. You know what, let's just kind of set it here for now. I'll move it most likely later down the line. So depot. We're just going to place a block here. And then mechanical press here. And then we're just going to kind of do this a little bit cheekily. Nothing really fantastic with how I'm going to do this. So shift click, by the way, if you guys just saw that, shift click changes the actual placement of the block to the opposite. So if I unshift, that'll get it to work. Okay. I don't know if I can make this pretty small or not. But I'm probably just going to do something like this. If I can place for the life of me, because I just failed 3 times in a row. And then I should be able to right-click. And then... Is that rotating? It is. Okay, so see how slow that is? Hold on. So that means we most likely need more sails put down. There we go. 1. We could work on getting more sails real quick. That's fine by me. Let's try 4 and see where that leads us. Okay, a little bit faster. Alright, so I am going to let this run real fast, and I will wait on getting the blaze burner, is what I said, right? Yep, blaze burner. We just need to get this, netherrack, and then I gotta go find a blaze, and then we can do that on camera. So let's go in here, snag up a piece of netherrack. Okay, empty blaze burner. Let's go find a blaze real quick. Be right back. Hey, if you're enjoying the content, if you could leave a like and or subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated so I know that you guys are enjoying these videos and want to see more. Of course, leaving comments down below is also a fantastic way of helping the channel, and also, you know, a good way to tell me what you guys like to see, what you guys don't like to see, what you think I should improve on, things of that sort. So, let's get back into the video. I think I just found a blaze spawner. Let's see if this is a blaze spawner. I think it's a destroyed blaze spawner. It is a destroyed blaze spawner. But this is actually a blaze spawner. If we can get one to spawn on top, maybe. Okay. Yoink. Hit slash home. Alright. So we've got the blaze burner. So now we just need to get the rest of this, which is the basin. And we need the mechanical mixer, which is a cogwheel. Let's see, so what is a cogwheel? So I actually need planks. Let's grab some wood. We'll just convert the rest of them to planks there. And then a cogwheel. We'll probably need a handful of these anyway, so we'll just grab that. Okay, so we'll grab a handful of those. And then we need a whisk, which is actually more iron plates. So it's a good thing I let this thing run while we were away. Beautiful, 12 plates. And I totally could have crafted this in my inventory, but I kind of forgot I have the portable crafting table. But there's the mechanical mixer. And then I think that's it, right? So the one thing with this is you do need rotation from a cogwheel rather than the actual thing. So what I want to try and do is actually go find a gearbox. Ooh, we got like a whole bunch of different types of gearbox. We have create utilities. Well, actually, this might work. If I think I know what this is. Okay, we need a create wrench. Create wrench. We need golden sheets. Okay, let me get some golden sheets real quick, sleep through the night, and I will be right back. Alright, I have crafted the create wrench. So now I just want to see if I can rotate this thing. Perfect. And then just cogwheel, mixer. So that is going to cause the same issue. Because I basically need... I was trying to see if I could get the cogwheel to be a bit on the same level. And I don't think that's possible, no matter what I do. So we will just send it. I'm just going to do this. But yeah, the L-shape thing is pretty cool. That's from Create Utilities. Create Utilities. Looks like there's some void stuff in here. No idea what that's about. A void battery, L-shape, and 6-axis gearbox. Huh, okay. No idea what any of that is, but we will probably mess with it sooner or later. Oop. Broke a little too much. Okay, so now what we need to do is go grab some coal. And what do we need for chocolate? It's sugar, milk, and... So sugar, milk, and cocoa beans. Alright, let me, like, toss some of this junk that I don't need in here for a second. That I just picked up from the nether. Okay, so... Sugar... milk, and cocoa beans. Quickly grab a couple more buckets of milk. So we are going to put this, and... Okay, so how many cocoa beans do I need? 1 and 1. So if I do 1, Gonna toss 4 in there. Okay, so 1, 2... and a bucket of milk. So I am not got this fast enough. So quick question. So what I think I need to do is grab a large cogwheel. Because don't you speed it up like this? And then you would repeat this. Or is it reverse? Is it this and then this? Okay, it is definitely not that. Okay. So let me tear this down real quick and then just rebuild it and get this placed next to this mixer because this needs to go faster. And basically what is happening is you do this large cogwheel to a small cogwheel shaft and then large to small, and that kind of speeds it up over and over again. But I do need to get this to be a little bit further away because I don't really want to move the mixer. I might be able to move it up if I'm doing this, but yeah, let me get this moved around and I'll be right back. Okay, I've given this enough force. I just had to do 1, 2, 3, and then of course the 4th one here, which is not really speeding it up, it's just descending it. That is beautiful, that is working. So the next thing is to give this a little bit of coal, which I'm going to give this 8 pieces. And it's going to start mixing. Of course, the biggest thing to know when you're ready is when this doesn't give you a message. So that is beautiful. Okay. So we are close to getting the amount we need. Oop, I did not mean to do that. So one of the things that I don't know is actually how to move fluids from this to somewhere else. I don't actually know how to do that. I've never messed with create fluids. So like create fluid tanks, I don't know how this would work. No idea. I've never used it. Might be something we can look at here in a little bit. I don't actually, I guess I want to keep that shaft there, don't I? So what I should do is probably like right here. Run down another shaft and then just have that attached to the press. No, it's not connecting. It is now, though. Okay. Beautiful. So that is connected. And then if I wanted to, I'd have to go get copper. Which we only have like 20 pieces, but that's fine. Do 10. That's going to be a little bit faster. Okay. Let me let this go, and we can see about fluids. But I probably will need to ponder how to actually do this stuff. Okay, so I'm assuming what I can do here is get a copper casing, which looks like I actually need to get some stripped logs. So let's do that real quick. Gonna do 4 here. And then just get an item drain. So iron bars, item drain. And then I would just set this here. And that should technically drain if we were to make another bat. And then from there, the item drain can do what exactly? So of course we can move fluids, we can move stuff into it. So, can pull fluids from drains to an internal buffer. Okay, so I see how that's working. So we need something here, which I don't know what that piece is. So that is a mechanical pump. Okay, so mechanical pump. So that is this piece right here. And that is a copper fluid pipe. Okay. So I'm learning. That's the biggest thing right now is I've never messed with fluids in Create. So we're definitely looking into it. We're going to do this. I don't want to do it any other way. I want to do it through Create since it seems like it's the best option right now. And we'll go with it. Alright, let me get the shears taken out of my inventory. So, it looks like I need to do this. It's not letting me place it. It's going to clear out a little bit of space here. So we want it that way. And then we'd want, say, the tank, which I'm going to go see if I have any barrels inside here real quick. I do have one barrel. So we're just going to do that. Okay. So that would go there. And then we would just need some way of getting this, not there, to come down. Where's this actually at? And line up to this gear. So actually, let's push this back one. And then just run it. Because if we can get that L shape, so L shape. Just like that. And that's going to work. Okay. So that's actually pretty cool. And how much does this store? It looks like maybe 8,000. I'm going to assume 8,000 or 8 buckets. Okay. So if we just grab 4 more, and then we grab another bucket of milk. Let's see if this works. Okay, so this is actually out of heat. I see that. Okay, so see how there's fluid spitting out? Looks like the thing just ate Taco Bell every so often. And then that goes in there. Slowly, but it goes in there. Okay, so that's actually really cool. So the next portion of this would be getting the spout. Is that what it's called? So this thing. So getting the spout. And that spout will then spit or spew? Drip? Drop? I don't know. Lollipop? I just said it because it rhymed. There was no reason for me to say lollipop. So we then do this. And then we want another depot. And then this would be our sweet berries, right? And this is actually the same thing for this, by the way, but kind of. You do milk instead of anything else, but milk and bread. While the other one's berries and chocolate. So that's going to be a very easy thing to do. Okay. So I guess we just need another mechanical pump. So another one of these guys. And I'm going to just set this right on top. And we're going to extract. And how do we want to do this one? Actually, I think this is a very odd way of doing this. And I'm probably doing it very wrong. And also very ugly. But Do we have that mod in here that is the, like, motors? Yes, we do, actually, the electric motors. This is something we'll probably get to sooner or later, but this is going to allow for us to use RF. But for right now, I thought this would just be a pretty fun idea to just go ahead and do all this stuff. Okay, so that's just spinning it into the world. Well, that's pretty cool that you can do that. But that's not what we want right now. So we want this to go into a pipe. And then into a spout. And then from there to there. And we need sweet berries. Okay, so if we attach... And this will cease. Okay, so that's perfect. So this stores 1,000, and it won't do anything more. Okay, so that is part 1. Now we just need to do sweet roll. So what I want to do... Actually, can I use the spout without needing to fill it using pipes? So you can do it that way. So actually, in theory, all I gotta do is get this emptied, and we don't have to make another one. Not yet, at least. We can actually just steal a bucket of this, and we can drop it into this item drain, and we can then throw down a slice of bread, and that's gonna give us a sweet roll. Right? Immediately? So let's actually just get a handful of these. And actually, how are sweet rolls? They're a little bit more nutritious, a little bit more saturation at the end of the day, which is cool. And if you don't know what I mean by saturation, which is something I like to point out every so often, so you see the 3 hunger hunches on the top, and you see the 3 hunger hunches on the bottom. Those are 2 different mods. I'm not 100% sure. Apple Skins is the bottom mod. I know that for a fact. And it is telling you that you do 2.5 with 3 bars of saturation, which is the very bottom one. The yellow little hunger hunches. And so with this one, you get 3 full hunger hunches instead of 2.5. And then you get, what is that, 4.5 nutrition or saturation. So that is actually not a bad thing, especially if we can automate that. But that is what we need for the pig. So I'm actually going to quickly just dump some stuff in my backpack so we can pick all this up. And then do this. And then do this. And pig. That should complete a quest. Beautiful. I actually got 3 ender pearls out of that. I don't mind ender pearls at all right now. And I think I actually moved these guys to the mob drops. So, what do we want to do now? Right? That is, I guess, the next question. Because the pig is 1,000,000 EMC. And I think to kind of boost us a little bit, my goal is to get that automated as much as we can. But I know there's going to be a few hiccups on the way of doing something like that. Because I don't know if we actually have anything next to us that would allow for us to go do the next portion. So this one's get through AE2, get through Mechanism, get through Power, Reliquary, which is a whole bunch of stuff, Common Dimension Essence. So this is not going to be anywhere near us. That one I don't think is going to be anywhere near us. I'm really getting tired of Wandering Traders. I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted by these guys, but it's because I hate hearing the door open and close. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take care of that real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 6 iron. And some obsidian. Make a couple player plates. And it doesn't look like we actually have player plates fully. But we do. They are just this. Okay. So we need stone pressure plates. before we do that. So it's not the mod I was thinking we had in here, but it's a mod that will let us do it anyway. So if you don't know what this is, by the way, this is actually player-activated pressure plates. So nothing can open these but us, which is exactly what I want to do. Because I am so tired of hearing that door open and close. Anyway, let's get back to what I was doing. So, yes, the pig. The pig is going to be one of the very first and one of the closest ones I think we can do for right now. This one's trial chambers, getting into ours. So this is probably our next one. I would think. The evoker sounds like it's probably doable. But yeah, that is actually the mod I want to get into is art. Ars Nueva. Nueva? Ars Nouveau, Ars Nueva, whatever you want to call it. That is the next mod that I want to mess with. And I think we'll do that in the next episode, because we got the pig, we did a little bit of create, a little bit of learning, and yeah, it's kind of how I want these episodes to go, because I want to cover a little bit of stuff, but not too much stuff, you know. But we got the pig. Pig. We did chocolate. For the first time, I've never touched chocolate in create either. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.